You are not in control of your life. You think you're making choices who to love, what to fear, when to act.
But there's a stranger living inside you, controlling your behavior, sabotaging your success. Carl Jung called this the shadow, and he warned, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You feel it, the friction. You have goals, but self-sabotage. You crave power, but act weak. You want freedom, but stay in the cage. Today, we're going to dissect Jung's philosophy, not the academic version,
But the weaponized version that teaches you to stop being a puppet and become the master. This isn't positive thinking.
This is surgery. By the end, you'll understand why being good is a fatal mistake, and why becoming whole, including your dark parts, is the only way to become truly untouchable. Phase 1. The curse of the good man. Look at the modern man. Harmless. Polite. He smiles when insulted. Apologizes when he's done nothing wrong. He suppresses his anger because he's been taught anger is toxic. He suppresses desire because he's been taught it's predatory. He is civilized. And he is miserable. Jung argued this forced morality isn't virtue, it's cowardice. A man incapable of violence isn't peaceful, he's defenseless. A man incapable of darkness isn't good, he's naive. You've been conditioned to believe your shadow, the aggressive, selfish, dominant part, is an enemy to destroy. You lock it in the basement.
You starve it. But the shadow doesn't die. It gets hungry.
When you repress your darkness, it disconnects from your ego and operates independently. Ever snapped and said something cruel you didn't recognize? Ever felt sudden, overwhelming anxiety? That's the shadow breaking out because you refuse to invite it to the table. Jung realized the most dangerous people aren't those who embrace their darkness. It's the nice ones who deny they have a dark side. They have no relationship with their capacity for evil, so they have no control over it. They become passive-aggressive, resentful, destroying everything while claiming they mean well. Stop trying to be a good man. Goodness is a social construct designed to make you compliant. Aim to be a whole man. A whole man has integrated his shadow. He knows he's capable of violence, which is why he can choose peace. He knows he's capable of selfishness, which is why his generosity matters. You need to go into the basement and unchain the monster. Look him in the eye. He's not a monster, he's your power, your drive, the part that refuses to lose. Without your shadow, you're a toothless wolf. With it, you're a king who keeps a dragon on a leash. Phase 2. The persona, the mask. We all wear masks. Jung called this the persona, the face you present to be accepted, hired, loved. The persona is necessary. You need a shield. But the problem arises when you forget you're wearing a mask.
Most of you have become your job title. Your role as the funny friend, the reliable employee.
You've curated a personality that gets you validation, but when you become the mask, you exile the soul. You feel a deep, hollow loneliness even with people who say they love you. Why? Because they don't love you. They love the performance. They love the character you're playing. Deep down, you know if you took the mask off, they'd leave. So you keep acting, and the acting drains you. Jung warned, the persona is that which in reality one is not, but which oneself, as well as others, think one is. To become free, you must treat your persona like armor. Put it on to do battle in the world. Use it to negotiate, navigate hierarchies, protect your privacy. But when you're alone, or with the few who actually matter, take it off. You must be willing to be disliked. This is the litmus test of freedom. If you're unable to be disliked, you're a slave to your persona. Ask yourself, if I stopped performing today, who would stay? The answer might be no one. Good. Let them go. The ones who leave were never with you. They were with the mask. Let the mask die so the man can breathe. Phase 3. The mirror of projection. This is the hardest truth. Everything that irritates you about others is a reflection of something you refuse to acknowledge in yourself. Jung called this projection.
Do you hate arrogant people? Feel visceral rage when someone boasts?
If you are truly neutral, you just see them as foolish. You hate them because you have repressed arrogance inside you. You want to be on the pedestal, but your nice guy persona forbids it. When you see someone else doing it, your shadow screams in envy. Hate lazy people? You're fighting a war against your own desire to rest. Hate manipulative people? You're a repressed manipulator, jealous of their skill. Your enemies are your greatest teachers. They're showing you exactly what's hiding in your shadow. Instead of judging people who trigger you, study them. Ask, What part of me is resonating with this? When you reclaim these projections, you stop being a victim of your reactions. You become cold, clear. You see an arrogant man and don't get angry. You recognize the drive for power. You're not triggered because you've already accepted the arrogant king inside yourself. This makes you immune to manipulation. The easiest way to control a man is to trigger his self-righteousness. When you integrate your shadow, you lose the need for moral superiority. You accept that humans are flawed, dark, complex. You stop judging. You start observing. And the observer always wins. Phase 4. The gold in the darkness. Jung discovered something profound. The shadow is 90% pure gold.
When you were a child, you were shamed for things that were actually strengths.
Maybe you were loud and told to be quiet, so you repressed your voice. Now you're afraid to speak up, to set boundaries. Your loudness is in the shadow. Maybe you were rebellious and told to obey. You repressed your creativity.
Now you follow rules that make you poor and miserable. Your rebellion is in the shadow.
Shadow work isn't just about managing evil, it's about recovering your genius. The energy you spend holding the door shut on your shadow is energy you could use to build an empire. Jung said the shadow contains the instinctive forces of man. It's the battery. When you stop fighting yourself, you get that energy back. People are drawn to the shadow. We love anti-heroes Tony Soprano, Walter White. Why? Because they're free. They act on impulses. They say what we're too terrified to say.
You can have that magnetism without being a criminal. You can have that edge without destroying your life.
It comes from integration. Start saying what you actually think. Start doing what you actually want. Stop asking for permission. The moment you stop apologizing for your existence, the world starts respecting your presence. Phase 5. Synchronicity. Reality manipulation. Jung discovered something that terrified the scientific community. When a patient made a massive internal shift, integrated a shadow, or broke a pattern, the external world would shift to match it. He called this synchronicity, the idea that the internal mind and external world aren't separate. They're mirrors. When you're fragmented, your life is chaotic. You attract chaotic people. You have bad luck. You think the world is attacking you. It's not. The world is reflecting you. But when you integrate, when you become whole, the mirror changes. You start experiencing outlier luck. Opportunities fall into your lap. The right person calls at the exact right second. It feels like magic. It's not magic, it's resonance. This is why hustle culture is flawed. Grinding 18 hours a day with a fractured psyche is like driving with the handbrake on. You're burning rubber, making noise, going nowhere. Fix the engine first. When you clear subconscious blocks, when you stop fighting your shadow, you become aerodynamic. You move through reality with less friction.
You are the projector. The world is the movie screen. If you don't like the movie, don't scream at the screen.
Change the film. Phase 6. The individuation process. Jung didn't believe we were born finished. We're born as raw material. The purpose of life isn't happiness, it's individuation, becoming the single, unique, undivided individual you were meant to be. It's a painful, terrifying, lonely ascent. It requires leaving the herd. Most people never individuate. They remain in the collective unconscious. They download their opinions from the news, their morality from their parents, their desires from advertisements. They live and die as copies. To individuate is to commit treason against the average. It means accepting you'll be misunderstood. It means outgrowing friends. It means walking into the dark forest where there are no paths, because if there's a path, it belongs to someone else. Jung said, "The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are." But privilege has a price. The price is comfort. You have to let the old you die. Psychological death is necessary for growth. The boy must die for the man to be born. The nice guy must die for the warrior to be born. You're holding on to dead things. You're dragging the corpse of your past self because you're afraid of the void. Drop the corpse. Enter the void. In that space of uncertainty where you don't know who you are anymore, that's where the alchemy happens. That's where the new self is forged.
This is the hero's journey. It's not a story in a book. It's your life.
Right now, you're standing at the threshold. The call to adventure is ringing. Will you answer it, or will you go back to sleep? So how do you begin? You don't need a therapist. You need a notebook and a spine. Here's the protocol. 1. The shadow journal. Every time you feel an irrational, emotional reaction, anger, envy, hatred, write it down. Don't justify it. Ask, what does this say about me? Find the gold in the weakness. 2. The persona audit. List the roles you play. Which feels heavy? Which feels like a lie? Pick one mask and smash it. Stop saying yes when you mean no. Watch who leaves. Watch who stays. The ones who stay are your tribe. 3. Active imagination. Sit in silence. Invite the shadow. Visualize the version of you that you're afraid of. The violent one. The greedy one. The savage one. Don't kill him. Shake his hand. Ask, what power do you have that I need? Integrate him. Put him on your team. Jung said, the gods have become diseases. The ancient forces, war, love, power, chaos didn't disappear when we became civilized. They went inside. When you deny them, you get anxiety, obsession, addiction. You're not suffering from mental illness. You're suffering from a spiritual civil war. You're a house divided. The cure isn't a pill. The cure is a treaty. While the world runs from their darkness, buying things to numb the pain, scrolling to avoid the silence, you will turn around.
You will face the cave.
You will walk into the dark and find that the thing you're most afraid of is the only thing that can save you. This isn't about becoming happy. Happiness is cheap. This is about becoming real. Real things last. Real things have gravity. Real things cannot be broken. The shadow is waiting. The stranger in your house wants to talk. Open the door.